For some of us, this world is not the best as we want it to be. We get frustrated and often lose perception of the greater good and the efforts made by individuals throughout history. The comfort we have today and the desire for a healthier tomorrow is made feasible through enthusiasm, endurance, and the sacrifices of caring people.
Across our world today,
Hurdles that come with time forbid people to see and acknowledge
the achievements of individuals with compassion.
As Zika shadows, the world ignores the triumph over Ebola. Today,
somewhere in the world, we forget that millions go to bed with hunger. And we also ignore the millions that have been rescued from starvation. Little do we treasure the professionals this world has made from hopeless times and places. When the refugee crisis conquers this world, we ignore the numerous of refugees that have been shielded with modern shelters. When dreams seem lifeless, we forget of all the ideas that continue to shape our world. And when governments scuffle over ideas, we omit the entire moment when the entire world came together to preserve the ozone layers. As we disregard these achievements, it goes without saying, there is no place for these people, living and dead, who have worked to make these achievements.
Two brothers inspired by the value of appreciation, Frederick and Maxim Mulba, have dared to attract the attention of our world to one human value that is less spoken of and rarely practiced. It is called gratitude. Through a new organization called Stewardship International, they are up for their first global gratitude project. Join me, thank America. More than any other nation on this planet, America is present in every corner of our world, serving to save and enhance lives. From the Peace Corps to USAID, NDI, the U.S. military, and U.S. nonprofit organizations, from foundations such as IRC, Mercy Ships, U.S. Committee for Refugees and Immigrants, the American Red Cross, Project Cure, Change Agent Network, the Carter Center, Clinton Foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and Goldman Sachs has been part of this tremendous effort enhancing lives, and the list is endless. These organizations have improved communities, provided health care, education, and lifted millions from poverty. They also ensure equity and shield minority groups, invigorate reform, and revive hope, both here in the United States and across the ocean. There's so much America has done and is doing that we are talking and hearing about in the news and other mediums. Fred and Maxim Mulba from northern Liberia, Lofa, spent part of their childhood in exile from the Republic of Guinea, and they still retain the suffering they had to endure to stay alive.
We fled to the Republic of Guinea as refugees before my 12th birthday in 1993. Life in Guinea was completely unbearable. We were kids, yet we had to labor on farms. We were using cutlasses and hoes, laboring just for our daily bread. It was a method of farming, primitive. That method of farming is still widely used across West Africa. Remember, the wages we got from this kind of labor was not always cash. We were paid in kind, mostly cup of rice. For those who have a working age, it was always 1 cup working for a day. Those of us who were kids, far below the regular working ages, it was always 2 or 3 persons working for 1 cup of rice a day, although we were the one always crying at the hands of hunger. Hunger is painful, especially when you have no idea when the next meal is going to be ready. In Guinea, things were extremely difficult. I remember traveling long distances with my brothers and sisters to cut firewood and to perform hard daily labors in exchange for food. We did this every single day for many years, as each day of hard labor was only enough to provide a single meal a day for my family. Despite all the struggles we experienced in Guinea, Guinea provided us a safe haven that we desperately needed. For me, it was more than just a safe haven. It was a place of hope. Because in refugee camps, I had the opportunity to go back to school through the tuition-free education that was provided to refugees. I returned to Liberia in 1997 after the general election. Less than 2 years after my return, another civil war erupted. This time around, I stayed in Liberia, but for the most part, we fled from one displaced center to another. However, I managed to stay in school when I could. Eventually, in 2004, I graduated from high school. And in the fall of 2006, I came to the United States by the way of the diversity immigrant visa. The IRC school provided for us in Guinea. We always used to call it a free school. It is now that I realize that that school wasn't really free. Somebody was paying for it somehow. Let's put it this way. If you were hungry and a friend of yours decided to buy you a meal, the fact that you did not pay for that meal does not make it free. Similarly, somebody somewhere in the world sponsored all of the international organizations that were providing for us, including the IRC that sent us to school free.
Amidst all the affliction they had to live within neighboring Guinea, these two brothers recall that the Liberian and the Sierra Leone's refugees were not alone in their excursions. There are many sad moments to recall from Guinea. I'm talking about real near-death experiences. But the government and people of Guinea were generally nice to us. In the first place, they allowed us in their country as refugees. If we had not fled to Guinea, the only option was to remain in our country, Liberia, to be killed, or be recruited as child soldiers to kill others or to help vandalize our country. For this, we are grateful to the Republic of Guinea. All the gains that they had in their lives were made profitable through a 4-year education championed by people who didn't subjectively know them, but in many instances were from different nationalities, races, creed, and so on. The journalists told our story. They told the world how politicians, conceived in greed and power drunkenness, had led our sweet land of liberty to total destruction, leaving the ordinary citizens, especially women and children, vulnerable. We have spread all across the sub-region: Guinea, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Nigeria, and so on as refugees. This story reached the hearts of people all across the globe, especially America. America stood up for the cause of humanity. After relative peace returned to Liberia, the two brothers returned home with their parents. Maxim went on to finish high school in 2004 from the Rock International Christian Academy, which was founded and largely supported by American missionaries. He played the diversified visa lottery and won that same year. Without a high school diploma, I would not have been eligible to play the diversity immigrant visa lottery and might not have been here today. My life is better today because America prepared me and gave me the opportunity to pursue my dream. Today, I work in healthcare and I am pursuing a degree in computer information system at the Community College of Aurora. A few years ago, when we helped rescue a lady and her dog from the 3rd floor of a burning building, the Denver Post and many people call me a hero. I am not a hero, nor an angel.
But the real hero and angels are the great people of this nation. American taxpayer who did not know me but helped sponsor my education when I was a refugee in Guinea. I am here today because of you. You are my true heroes and my angels. I couldn't wait to thank America.
Frederick completed high school in 2003, and in 2009 finished his graduate study with a BSc in accounting. In June 2014, Frederick graduated from Cuttington University Graduate School with his master's in business administration.
More than creed, religion, nationality, gender, and race, what today's world has in common is the generosity of America. The Peace Corps volunteers are brothers and sisters to every race of this world. The USA logo, for example, serves as hope for everyone who is in anguish. I was happy when I heard Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu address the United Nations General Assembly last month, September, and said, "America is the greatest and generous nation on the planet." I was excited about that because although the statement is a fact, it is not one of those we hear and say about America every day. And that raises a question in my mind, a real divine question. Where are the nine?
In addition to time, financial, and logistical resources, America has endured many losses while trying to put smiles on faces of the needy. 5 American nuns, Sister Barbara Matra, Sister Mary Joelle Colmer, Sister Agnes Mueller, Sister Shirley Colmer, and Sister Kathleen McGuire all lost their precious lives in October of 1992 while serving in the war-ravaged Liberia. U.S. Ambassador Chris Stevens, who served in the Peace Corps, touched an innumerable amount of lives. Anita Oshkov-Tatar was a Peace Corps volunteer and a working aide, and she sadly lost her life in the Mali hotel bombing. According to CNN, her family says that she relished in helping others. When the Marine helicopter fell during the Nepali earthquake rescue mission, 6 U.S. servicemen were lost. There's a list of Americans, and their lives, and their stories, and their sacrifices for us should never be dilapidated. America didn't give them to die. They lost their lives saving ours. They are heroes, and they are here to make the world a better place for the human race. And they cannot be forgotten. So in times of despair, please join me and thank America.
You can also stay connected with Suicide International on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook. Or you can call 720-499-3739. We want to hear your story. Join us, thank America. God bless you.